forward to how they structure the pitching staff, right? Like,
here's my early guess. I'm going to be honest with you. My early guess is outside of the rotation, it is going to take us a long damn time to see structure back there, if you will.
for sure.
I think they have so many damn arms that they will not be very hesitant to pull guys early. You will not see guys have to throw back-to-backs and or come into quote-unquote save situation. I say save. Come into situations where, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting him to be throwing here because he did this much on this day or whatever. There are so many arms and so many opportunities back there. Unless something were to go really wrong, meaning injury and stuff like that, I think you're going to see so many dudes come out of that pen that it's going to be very impressive.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, I think that how he structures it, like you said, I think it's going to take a long time. Right? I think you're going to have different situations that calls for different guys to come in. They're going to have different matchups. He's going to have the ability to do whatever he wants as far as matchup goes. And then you're going to start to see some of these guys having these roles. As SEC play starts to happen and these games start to kind of matter a little bit more and get a little dicier, you're going to start seeing these roles be defined. Not even by necessarily Jay says, okay, you're the guy who's earned these roles, right? Like they're going to earn their spot in this role, and Jay's going to get comfortable with a guy in whatever situation he's in. I think you're going to start seeing that. I think you're also going to start seeing around that same time the offense start to kind of find its footing, right? Like you're going to have the preseason. You're going to have the out-of-conference schedule. It's not going to be as difficult as conference schedule. So you're going to have guys be able to put up some numbers and do some things, and then you're going to go through a bump in the road a little bit, right? Where some of these guys may be getting off to this scorching hot start that you didn't even think that they were going to be able to do. Then they're going to go to the SEC play, and it's going to kind of level out a little bit, and then they're going to figure out their way out of it. And I think probably after that third week of the SEC, once they get past that, back to the upswing, you're going to start to see the offense become the offense that they need, everybody thinks that they're going to be, and the offense that they're going to be towards the end of the year. And that's what I'm kind of looking forward to too.
Well, and you got to remember too, like, so if you remember at the end of their fall season, Jay came on and talked about how impressive the pitching staff was when it comes to just the ability to throw strikes, right? They threw strikes really well, which says a lot because we all know that staff also has a ton of talent and a ton of ability. So to be able to hone it in and actually be able to throw strikes means a lot, right? There is going to come a time during the season where somebody's going to be struggling or struggle in maybe a specific outing or a string of outings. I can't wait to see what the leash looks like on some of these guys. How long are we going to keep you in? Or is this something, conversations he's been having with guys saying like, hey, look, I believe in all of y'all. Y'all know how much I believe in all of y'all. Y'all know how talented this roster is, and you know how talented I think this roster is when it comes to pitching. So if I yank you after two walks, or if you can't make it through an inning, please don't take that as I don't believe in you. It's just I know what we have available, and I don't have to really push you through it. I'm still going to give you the opportunity next time. I'm still going to put you back in there next time. I want to see if you can use it like that, because let's be honest, like, there isn't many teams that have the ability to be able to use a pen the way we kind of think they'll have the ability this year, which is it's long and it's deep and there's a lot of talent. There's going to be a Sunday game in the SEC where for some reason they're down 7-2 in the ninth, and the guy that's coming out of the pen will be throwing 95 plus, and you're like, why on earth is he throwing right now?
Right.
Well, because that's how deep they are back there. There's going to be a time early on in the season within the first month or two where somehow Cam Johnson or somebody like that doesn't get to throw in the back end of a game because they never really get that close. So now he's starting on Tuesday because they don't want to go 2 weeks without him throwing. Like, I can't wait to see how this thing kind of folds out because, like I said, there's so many dudes back there. So many dudes back there.
Ton of dudes, right? And I got a lot of guys that are on the team that you didn't even know were on the team, right? We had people telling us about some of these guys that were here last year.
The forgotten men.
Didn't play, were hurt for one reason or another. Super talented, but you just kind of forget because they weren't on the team. They weren't playing, or they were on the team, but they weren't playing. They weren't on the active roster because they were hurt. And now we're getting reports from some of the guys on the team like, nah, Like, these guys are like, wait till you see this guy throw.
There was
Wait till you see that guy throw. I'm like,
there was some
who
young
is that?
kids. There was young kids on the team last year that we all saw it, right? There was 3 or 4 big injuries on the pitching staff, right? And it bumped guys up in the spots where they were not used to playing. So there was also still guys behind those guys that were really just not ready to pitch that year yet. But they're really, really talented. And a lot of these guys have taken steps forward to where you're going to see him this year and be like, well, who is he? He was here last year. We never saw him throw. He was one of those guys. You get what I'm saying? And like, there's a couple